We have a super thanks and kind of a lengthy one to begin today's show from Xavier Worthy's burner. I'll condense this down so I'm not reading off text for a minute. It says we get conservative on defense, get hot, force turnover, sacks, but we only do that when the offense gets up early, then we get more aggressive. I know it makes sense on paper, but if we're always going to get worked up and down the field, we should be more aggressive. I know Hill is going to get rattled if you knock him on his ass. I do miss Overshown. Can't wait to see what he does next year. Maybe we draft Jaylon Ford, the Texas linebackers. Personally, Clark has not cut it. Bell is good, but can't be a full-time linebacker. He's too small. My mindset for this defense, what you saw against the Lions, this came before the Lions game, gash or be gashed. You're going to face great offenses. They're going to get you for some plays. You got to make some of your own. Splash plays, TFL sacks, takeaways. They did that against Detroit. Marcus Arnold. I have complete faith in the team in the postseason. However, I feel every issue we've had leads back to one major fact. We've gotten little to no impact from this year's draft class. Complete whiffing on a draft can have devastating effects. You're right. The hope is that long-term, it ends up helping you. Your best players from this draft class, like the guy who's played some of the most snaps for you is Deuce Vaughn. That's a terrible thing, by the way, to be clear. Your best players have been undrafted free agents, which is great, but also bad. So not including your UDFA class, grade the Cowboys draft class this season. A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Tony D just says, thanks, in the classic Canadian kindness super thanks. I appreciate that, my friend. If you're wondering, what the hell are these super thanks? I'm watching the live show. I don't see these in the queue. You're right. Super Thanks is a feature on YouTube, allows you to donate outside of the live videos. Click the thanks icon. You can edit your message, send in whatever amount you want. Just like we do for Super Chats. If you send in a Super Thanks, we will show you some love on the show. Hunter M, 2 things. This came in after the game. Not talking about McCarthy calling the timeout on the 2-point attempt. I think we mentioned it in the moment and outside of the cut, but yes, you can't call a timeout there. You needed that. You needed that timeout. Horrible job by McCarthy there. Also, second, in your opinion, I think adding peewee punishment practices for penalties committed in the game like laps or up downs would help. But the team to stop making boneheaded mistakes. Love the show. No more penalty, boys. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. Frankly, I just think it's from your head coach top down. I don't know what the solution is. I don't think it would help, but try it. I don't think Mike would do it. He's too much of a player's coach, but I don't know. It shouldn't be such an issue. It should not be. Logical LB, I would rather get the 5 than the 2 and play the Bucs instead of the Seahawks. Rest your starters. So again, we're doing the 2-seed debate. Now, this came in before Seattle lost, so it might be like the Rams. Let's just say the Rams, because I think the Rams are better than the Bucs are and the Packers are too. Here's why I say no to this. Can you make the argument you'd rather play on the road at Tampa than home against the Rams? Sure. But then what happens? Are you that scared of losing your first-round game? You're taking such a narrow-minded approach. You have to think big picture here, guys. I don't want to just go one and done. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a real run. And my best chance to make a real run is to get the 2-seed. I'll play the Rams. I'll play the Packers. I'll play Minnesota. I'll play Seattle, whatever. They can come to my house, and I'll beat them. And then I'll see where the chips fall and who I play. Because I would much rather have to play Detroit or Philadelphia or whoever at home in the divisional round than go play San Francisco. Because that's a very real outcome. I want to avoid San Francisco for as long as humanly possible. This is how I accomplish that. By getting the 2-seed, I don't have to play them on the road until the conference championship game. That is the route I would rather go. So do you want the 2-seed? Y for yes, N for no. It is the pinned comment on today's video. The ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Action Jackson. Whatever happened with Martavis Bryant? He was the thing that I tried to tell people he was probably going to be, as just a practice squad guy. It's a big name, and the big name, I get it. Gets everybody excited, right? It's a name you heard of. You can't wait to see it. Oh, can he help you? Well, no, not really. I don't think we see him this year. I think it was bring him in, see how he does, and then you can keep him as a futures deal next year too and see how the preseason goes. So, again, I don't think it was never supposed to be this super impact. It was always more likely it was going to be a, Antonio Callaway-esque signing. And so far, that's what it's been. Marcus Arnold, my God, can we please sign Dalvin Cook? Now, after the Tuesday live show, we as part of it, we did the whole breakdown of Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, guys, is not what you remember. The signs of regression had been there previously. I've got some advanced stats for you. Because let's be honest, you're not watching Jets games. Why would you be? Wouldn't expect you to. He sucks. I'm sorry. And the numbers here out of the 72 qualifying runners, except for yards of contact, that one's PFF. He's dead last in EPA per rush. He's third to last in success rate. He's third to last in explosive play rate. He's actually pretty decent about not getting tackled for a loss, 22 out of 72. He's second to last in yards created, which is a stat that, let me make sure I read this off correctly. It's adjusting yards per carry based on the situation and the defensive pre-snap look. So is the box loaded, right? Yards after contact, second to last. He's bad. I'm sorry. He's bad. The rushing yards over expected. This is regression. This is what we talked about leading into this year. 0.81, he was awesome in 2020. Dips in 2021. Still good though in 2021. Oh, negative in 2022. He does not qualify right now on next gen stats. That's what this is from. Unfortunately, when he did qualify, guess where he was? At the bottom. He's not that guy anymore. I'm sorry. Now, today's show is made possible by Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. For example, I don't know, maybe the Cowboys playoff game in the wild card round and fingers crossed for divisional round and more. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, theater, and events near you. Killer last-minute deals, all in prices. Views from your seat and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. You can see your view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. You can take the phone and move it left and right and up and down, and if you haven't been to Jerry World before, you'll know what your seat view actually looks like. They've got zone deals, flash deals. I like the zone deals, by the way. The flash deals ongoing right now for the wild card. You can get 10% off. Zone deals. You pick the section, and Game Time pick the seats for you for an average of 18% savings. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHAT, or Cowboys Chat, promo code Cowboys Chat for 20% off. That's promo code COWBOYSCHAT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but go create your account for free. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Stephen Goltz, I think it's how it's pronounced, Stephen. Fun question. Would you put referees in the same category as kickers? Might be the greatest super thanks in company history. Kickers are not people. Brandon Aubrey's an alien. Referees are subhuman. How about that? I'll go even more negative. First, I'm going to go my rants here. I tried to warn the greater public for years about the perils of NFL officiating, and nobody gave a damn. Nobody cared. Nobody listened like, oh, you're just mad because the Cowboys are losing. I'm like, the refs are making bad decisions and bad calls and impacting games. Nobody cared when it was the Cowboys. Then the Lions get screwed one time, and the world falls apart. Nobody wanted to listen to me. When they came for the Cowboys, they ignored. And then they came for the Lions, and it was too late. By the way, that same crew is getting a nationally televised game this week. The NFL does not give a shit because we keep watching. I will continue to at the NFL officiating account until I get blocked by them. So our refs people. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Abshir Pawar, let Dak deal. It seems that the O-line, running game, and play calling has done Dak dirty in big games. Steele and Smith gave up big sacks. We ran the numbers leading into last week's game of the complete inability to run the football. Like the one of my keys to victory was, hey, or it was a matchup, whatever it was. Like, don't try to run the ball too much. Like, in every loss you've had, you've averaged under 4 yards a carry. So don't try to establish it. What did Big Mike do? We're going to run the ball against a top 5 run defense. And then when we should run the ball, F it, go balls. I just don't get it. I really don't. It's just, again, like, my mindset is like, I'm fairly smart football-wise, I think. But I'm also in media. What's the line? Those that can do. Those that can't do, teach. And those that can't teach are in media. Right? I'm not a coach. I'm not a player. How can I figure this shit out and they can't? Like, that's my issue, right? How can we all do it in the comments and you go, why are you running the football? I don't get it. The O-line is not playing well. The run scheme's not good. Like, I don't get it. So stop. Why is the O-line bad at run blocking? Terrence Steele's regressed. I don't think Biotish is doing a great job either, relatively speaking. And I think this run scheme doesn't fit them. It's a weird hodgepodge of various things. I call it tight zone. It's not inside zone. It's not wide zone. It's not really gap. It's not really power. It's not really duo, which is what you should be running because you do good stuff when you're doing duo. And it's the meta for run games these days that actually work outside of the Shanahan scheme. You had some success. You briefly did with some of those Shanahan run concepts. Wasn't working. And on top of this, and this is a good, I'll remember to make this point on our preview later this week, your run design doesn't look like your pass design pre-snap. When they're throwing the ball, there's a lot of pre-snap motion. How much pre-snap motion is there on run plays? And their best run plays this year have been involving pre-snap motion. I mean, I was watching the college football playoff games, right? The Michigan and Washington offenses, did you see how much motion there was? I mean, they're shuffling guys every snap. I think that's what you have to do more of that. You have to. Now, we have you covered on all the latest Cowboys news and rumors and updates and live watch parties. Hit that sub button for more videos, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Ryan Nelson, Tom, Jalen Polk, let's make it happen. There's like a dozen receivers I like a lot this year in this year's class. There's some speedy guys, some big guys. Insert Washington wide receiver here, I'm in. You're not going to get a Dunze. He's going to be gone top 15, I think, by the way. I keep mocking offensive tackles to the Cowboys because I think there's going to be a good one there for you, but I would not be mad at another wide receiver. Like, I think that's a good idea. Chris B., we're going to win on Sunday, but I swear to God, if Mike goes cautious and we somehow lose, he should be fired before the playoffs, no joke. I actually don't disagree. If you can't beat the Commanders on the road with the NFC Championship game, in line, who here is going to believe in this Cowboys team? I'm not. I think you might lose them in the division or in the wild card round again. Like, so I actually don't disagree, and I would also be mad because you know what this Commanders defense is the NFL's worst at? Stopping the passing game. Go air it out for 3 quarters. Sit Dak, sit everybody, and just run the ball out in the fourth quarter. That's what you should do. Spencer, any Texas players you'd take? I mean, yeah, depends on where, right? You know, Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell are fun receivers. I mean, those guys go pro. They got some good defensive pieces. Maybe not the secondary, relatively speaking, early. I know Ford's a popular piece. I liked T'Vondre Sweat. I can't take another nose guard, although you made Mozzie cut weight because you're idiots. I like Byron Murphy a lot, actually. I think that might be a better fit for Dallas with what they need. You don't need a tight end, but I like JT Sanders too. So name a player you want to take in the 2024 NFL Draft. Sound off for me in the comment section right now. Chris B., also, I think the 2 seed puts big pressure on Mike McCarthy. I think there's a lot of pressure. I think that's a fair point that you're going to be favored in all your games. And if you don't make it to the conference championship game as a 2 seed, it's a disappointment. Which I think we're already at that mindset anyway. But I would be inclined to agree. Chris B., thoughts on Bugs from the Lions who got cut? Is he good? I think he's better than Carl Davis. That is a low bar to clear. I don't think he's a superstar player. I would bet he just goes back to the Lions practice squad if he clears waivers. I don't think you're going to be able to claim him off of waivers. And I just don't know who you cut. Like, who are injury you're inventing. Like, the math ain't mathing for me there. So, but yeah, if I can get into the press squad, I'm all in on Isaiah Buggs. Like, of all these guys we've discussed the past, 2.5 days of free agents, like, I think Buggs might be your best bet over Frank Clark, over Dalvin Cook, over Lyle Collins. I think he could actually help you and would give you some more insurance with Hankins still coming back from that ankle injury.